This is a picture from off of Reddit. I'm sure you've seen it if you're a Zack Snyder fan or even if you're a James Gunn fan. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this whole debacle, and we're going to look at some like statistical facts to kind of support what I'm saying. And to do such, the hat has to come off. And even though it's the weekend, we brush the hair back and we make ourselves look good. Is that right, folks? I also want to share a little bit of my weekend. So I think we'll start with that being the first point. Um, is I would say let's go into the you know Snyder gun topic and get my take on it. So let's first off, at the time of recording this, of course, um, there's been some positive news that's come out for good old Warner Brothers, which is great, of course, because remember something, folks. When you hear me speak about Warner Brothers today, and DC specifically, um, you're gonna get my viewpoint and thought on it, and I'm just one person of many, I think it seems, that have started to get on that bandwagon of James Gunn not being the right guy for the job. And that's what we gotta do. We gotta put the sunglasses back on. Oh yeah, yeah, put the sunglasses back on. But if you look in the right hand corner of the screen up there, there's a targeted thing. I'm trying to do something brand new, and if you want to play along, I would appreciate it. If not, that's okay too. Um, just because I am still working on getting the format for everything together for this show to be an ongoing thing. A little more interactive video content is going to be coming too with it. But we're going to talk about all different things over the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow there won't be a show, which is Sunday, and yeah. So as I said, here's the take on Warner Brothers and DC and James Gunn and Zack Snyder. You ready? Okay. Mattel from Warner Brothers announced multi-year licensing deal for DC characters. Now, I'm pretty sure that McFarlane, that was the name of it. McFarlane Toys ended their multiverse type story scenario or storyline that they were like licensed to do. So this is obviously a win for them, which is good. Mattel is a great company to have make your product. I mean, they've made some of the best toys out there, right? And if you're watching this, you know exactly what I mean, best toys. Um, so, yeah, let's see here. I'm sorry there. I just want to make sure yeah. Okay, so they got a global multi-licensing agreement, which I thought was kind of cool. Um, I probably, as a consumer, will never buy such a thing or toy because I'm not a fan of James Gunn's work, unfortunately. I can't even say I'm not a fan because part of me really wanted him to, like, when I heard he was attached to this, I started off by saying that before. When he was attached to this and was coming in, I was like, yes, now we're gonna have some good stories because I was on the James Gunn bandwagon for bring him back for part three of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I got on the actors side to support that in that film, and when he came in and decided at the earliest point of view to fire Henry Cavill right after he announced he was back. That was some bullshit. And there is a hot take of me talking about this before, and I will link it on the replay. But this is fake, folks. This is fake. Okay, not like literally fake. It's not like AI or anything. It's a real photo, but you know, this is just to get the internet going again. And I think that's one thing that you will see oftentimes. And sometimes I feel like almost to an extent these two are playing it. But there's definitely some type of animosity that has transpired from Warner Brothers to Zack Snyder. I mean, he made him 300. I don't understand that. So this is a win for Warner Brothers here. But then there's this headline from Joe Blow. Look at this. Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav was reportedly furious about box office failures of Joker Folie à Deux. Yeah, I mean, first off, I have not seen this film. And second off, I don't think I will ever see this film. I think this is pure garbage. And everybody thought the first one was some type of like, yeah, and you could, again, this is my opinion, okay? So you can worship Joker the first one or Joker Folia do and enjoy it to your extreme all you'd like, but at the same time there can be opposition to that. So and that's a fair thing to have. And it's a good thing to have is opposition, because opposition makes one thing stronger, one energy or however you want to put it. Anyways, um, when they announced this movie and the premise of this movie, and then I heard that I heard they were no longer going to have our girl playing Margie Roberts uh, playing Harley Quinn anymore. I was really immediately turned off by this. I was like that was before I heard that this was going to be a freaking musical of some sort. So just know that. But anyways, the interesting part behind this is I don't know how they didn't think this was going to fail. I mean, James Gunn kind of like took over either in the middle or the end of principal photography on this film. I'm pretty sure, or very close to it. And it then sat in the area for um, it sat in the editing room for a while. So if they didn't have faith in it, they could have taken additional time to do some finessing, so to speak, to the story. Um, I mean, to be honest with you, this whole concept did not work for me. So the sequel only grossed 207,000, or excuse me, 207,000. Jesus, definitely the weekend. 207,000. I did it again. See that? 207 million worldwide. I mean, it was trashed by the critics, which is what this thing is saying. Um, And I remember like seeing a video. It feels like almost a meme now, where Joaquin Phoenix was talking to Lady Gaga. He's like, "I want to get the fuck out of this place." It was at like one of the premieres because I don't think he was happy with his performance in that movie. I don't know if he's on the record for saying that, and if he is, you know, we support your decision, buddy. Anyways, um, good old David Zaslav. This guy, I don't know if he knows how to run a company or maybe he doesn't know how to run a company with so much debt. And I think that is one of the bigger things that, and plus an entertainment film company. Okay. Um, so that's where that's at. And then, boom, now we start getting into the headlines we don't want to talk about, right? Um, Warner Brothers is getting sued by the Superman creator's estate. And if you've been following this story in any fashion, it's a unique story in itself, but you could do a whole video just on this, basically talking about, we'll just briefly summarize it. Warner Brothers is facing a lawsuit from the estate of Joseph Schuster. It's kind of funny because I had the house I bought, my first house. The people that I bought it from was like Schuster, which is kind of interesting. One of the creators of the DC comic hero Superman. And it's ahead of that Superman release, which concerns me because it makes me feel like maybe they're doing this for a couple of reasons. First, it's definitely money targeted, okay? The estate, that is. It's definitely money targeted. But more of it is to do with control, I think. I don't know if these people have seen the negativity of what what has come from the Zack Snyder feud and gun feud, but I think they have. I think they're not as stupid as we all think they are. These creators behind the scenes, I think they're very much aware of what is going on with this. But anyways, Superman is intended to relaunch DC's biggest film franchise as part of the wider attempt to revive Marvel's cinematic. See, now, why would they say that? To rival Marvel's cinematic universe. Okay, so do your own thing, man. Like, do your own thing. You do not have to follow what Marvel is doing. Regardless, I would agree that Marvel does it the best, and DC is definitely proof of that. But I would also say be unique. You got the Batman out there. He got I'm hearing at the time of recording this that there could be three films in title that could come out from that series, which is interesting. I did not enjoy the Batman. I waited 2 years. Remember, we got stuck during COVID, and yeah. Anyways, so now DC is getting sued by this estate, and from all my research and from all the internet talk, it does look like they may actually have a real case. I won't ever bring anything up in here that I can't see from an article that we all, as people within the states, that is, uh, can really support or trust. Right now, this is a site I definitely uh, sometimes trust, the Independent, but this has been reported on so many different websites that it's almost gargling to some respect. But let's keep going. So here's the stock right now for Warner Brothers. It's like trading at like 11, or excuse me, it's at 11.46. I know nothing about stocks, but what I do know is that this stock, if you've been following it since Gunn took over, has dropped significantly. Significantly. I was trying to find the numbers and I was looking on here. I think it's the next one. This one here. And I was just looking at like what the market value was, the enterprise value, the diluted earnings. I mean, look at that, negative 4.62. Um, but everything that I found claims that Warner Brothers is going to do good in 2026 or 2025 rather. I'm sorry. So at the time of recording this, we're going to have to do a follow up next year, uh, 1 year from now, and see what's going on with this stock. We're going to monitor this stock. I'm going to monitor this stock, I should say. And maybe you can help me along the way break it down for better understanding purposes. It does look like it's increasing a little bit. So something's happened pretty recent. But I mean, this is this is an abysmal stock, and if you did have it, I would recommend pulling it only because, and I'm not any type of marketing specialist or financier guy, but this company is just wrong. This company does not care about its fans. This company does not care about the quality of work anymore. Like you had Christopher Nolan with the Dark Knight trilogy, if you want to call it that. And then we came out from that and we got Man of Steel. And for many conversations, we all thought as moviegoers, maybe Christian Bale may be the Batman in the Superman universe, right? And that turned out not to be the case. But we remember Nolan did executive produce or produced on, I'll look at that in a second, did produce on Man of Steel. So, I think his influence too did really help, bring that together. Um, so we looked at this, and then yeah, here's the other thing. And this one kind of went underreported, but a couple months back, Warner Brothers lost its gaming president. They, whoever the individual was, I can't remember the name at the moment, but he decided he was stepping down, and in that case, uh, Warner Brothers Games killed the Wonder Woman title Shutter 3. Shutter's 3 studios in a cost-cutting move. So, I don't know. I don't know. When you're a company that much in debt, I just do not see a good outcome for it. Um, I'm going to show you this. You probably have seen this before if you're a true, Snyder fan. And I am a Zack Snyder fan. I'm a fan of his films. I am. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I enjoyed Batman vs Superman the extended cut, and I really enjoyed his cut of um, Justice League. And I looked up these numbers. I'm going to show you here just for examples to see how accurate these were. And for Man of Steel, this chart is saying 66 7. All right, so on IMDb, it's showing that there was a gross worldwide of 670. So this person's not too far off. And I did the same thing with the other numbers to take a look. But you'll notice one thing, these were underneath the Snyder regime. And look at the dollar amounts that these brought in at the time. This isn't, I don't believe, adjusted for inflation in any fashion because it matches the IMDb at the very moment. So think about that for a second. And then you look at some of their newer stuff, like, I mean, I don't even want to pull any of this stuff up, but we'll just do it. I hate to even do it, to be honest with you. Um, I was so looking forward to this movie, The Flash, and what a waste, man! What a shit show that was. Um, that just wow, it was a bad go, and I didn't see that either. I boycotted it. But even this, I mean, look at this. It only grossed 271, million there. And I don't know. I'm not a analytics guy saying that these numbers are good or bad. If you look at their budgets, that's what you have to really look at. And sometimes the best way to look at that is on IMDb. Let's see if we can look a little more onto this because I'm curious to know if it does report on here. Let me see if it's on the. Let's see if it's on the IMDb official page. Hold on one second. DB. Oh, boo! I did it. I did it. Okay. Let's try this again. Shrek, we can talk about that a different day. Oh, Fertility a go. Fidelity. Oh my God, man. Definitely the weekend. All right. So let's take a look at the Suicide Squad. Okay. The Suicide Squad. All right. And let's see here. More information. Let's just see what this bad boy brought in. Whoa. 168. That's crazy. Just looking at, I think The Flash had Michael Keaton helping it quite a bit, and the expectation that the Snyderverse was going to continue in some fashion. So it read off those coattails very, very much. But I don't, I don't know. So this is his one film that didn't do too well. Looks like. Oh, here's the budget right here. What am I even look at it? It's been right here. So here's the budget right here. 185 million. They only grossed 168 million. Wow. Wow. Wowzer. I didn't realize that's where that was. That's quite a bit. Oh yeah. It's probably the sunglasses. This is a $200 million film. Yeah, it looks like it did actually end up breaking and made a little bit of a profit. But I think that's why It had something with the nostalgic of the Sniderverse and the hope of something better, and also Michael Keaton, man. Like I could just watch his scenes and be good with it, you know. Um, let's look at Wonder Wonder Woman. What the hell? Am I not able to spell it now? Wander. Oh. Wait a second. I just want to see this real fast before we go to this. So this budget was 225 million, and wow, 670 million. You see what I'm saying here? These numbers, they don't lie. They don't lie. They do not lie. Um, and then I'm just curious. Also, like I said, Batman. Oh, Batman versus Superman. When this was announced, I was. Oh, that's right. It's the long name now. Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Dun, 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 dun. When I watched these early movies, my biggest complaint was the amount of destruction in them. I'm like, you got to blow up a whole city or destroy a whole city. And then later on, as I watched the Snyder cut of Justice League, I realized I actually appreciated it. It's strange. It's strange because I was in the theater. I always complain about that all the time. But this budget was 250 million. Look at this, 874 million, almost a billion. And in some specs, if you did the adjustment for inflation and everything, of course, you would be seeing over a billion right there. Okay, so there's this, and we look at this and we say we know what works. We know where the fans are. So why does the company not want to produce product for its clientele? Like that, it doesn't make sense. You can do your James Gunn verse, okay? Do your James Gunn verse. Who cares? All right. And the people that enjoy the James Gunn verse, you can go and enjoy it all the much as you want. Okay, as much as you want, and I hope you get everything out of it that you're really wanting from it. Okay, so move on. All right, we're done with that. Now, if the Zack Snyder stuff came back, that would be great too. You know, if it doesn't, then that's fine. My money will not be going to DC anymore. That they've out. I don't want to say they outgrown me, but they've outgrown my age demographic. That's the way that I look at it. And this is a little bit of update from yesterday's report from Deadline that was talking about Gene Hackman's death. This thing is getting pretty intense. I saw earlier today, I saw um, a video by the police department who were doing the investigation, and they took a few items from the home. This is it was from yesterday, the 28th. So this is a moving thing. Uh, But the Gene Hackman death, police remove blood pressure drugs and more from the house where bodies were found. Dominic Pattern. For those that saw the other show, you'll know I did much better this time with his name. Um, but let's just take a look here at what's going on with this situation. This situation is just so interesting because of the way in which it actually has transpired. Like there's something about it that is just so awkward. So awkward. Um, the fact that Gene Hackman and his wife, they were both um, they were both passed, and their dog was also passed. And then the two others were running the property. And I like that. I did like this, and I did appreciate this because I'm an animal lover. They also stated in the conference, the live conference, um, with the public about the dogs being taken care of by someone in the Hackman family, or their family, of course, and they'll be taken care of in good shape. So that was a little bit of an uplift right there. But Yeah, they haven't released yet really anything, but it's so suspicious um, that he was 95, and they were saying the last date, and I don't know if it's in this here, and I would recommend you read this. I'm not going to read it all. I'm only going to pick a few things to point out. Um, but this was one of them, of course. There were two green in color cellular devices taken, thyroid medication. Uh, this one's gonna kill me. Dilsirmian medication. Somebody hit me up with that and give me a proper pronunciation of that. Dissertation. Oh, man. All right, hold on. No, we're gonna get this. Now, for some of you that don't know, and I'm not a big reader, but I have dyslexia, and sometimes it's hard to actually read things. Of course, sunglasses don't help, but it's the weekend. You know what I'm saying? So this is the name of it. Diltiazerne. Okay. Anyways, really, that's interesting. It's a medication of some sort, of course. Tylenol, MyQuest Records, and a 2025 monthly calendar. Um, and then this here just kind of rehashes as they previously reported. There was another healthy dog near the deceased female, a deceased dog laying 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female in a closet of the bathroom. They said his pacemaker, the last pacemaker date was like February 17th, 2025. So, and they just uncovered this just recently when somebody did a wellness check on them. But yeah, so nothing really crazy more to report. As to they keep saying there was no obvious signs of gas leaks, but Gene Hackman has been dead for a while. I would believe, and I think we're going to come to find out when the autopsy is reported that he had been dead for like since the 17th, because I think his pacemaker probably did go off, when his heart stopped, right? Because that thing is to continue to make your heart go. But I know there's special things with it. I'm not a scientist on it. I'm not a specialist on it. Don't take my word for it. Um, I'm just telling you what I believe, okay, on this one. Um, and from what I know and trust, of course. Um, so it's just so crazy that a legend like this passes away from such unique circumstances, and he lived to 95. That is such a life. Again, I don't know his personal. You know, People did say he was hard to work with. I watched an interview the other day that was talking about how hard it was to work with Gene Hackman, and yeah. So couple good movies, couple movies I don't really, didn't really, not my generation type of thing, but or even piqued my interest type of thing. But there's some good ones out there. We talked about it last time, Superman, the original Superman, of course. He was the original OG, if you will. So yeah, that is where we find ourselves currently in the situation of um, the death of Gene Hackman. Crazy. This is a crazy circumstance that they have. Oh, yeah. The one thing I wanted to tell you was, and we did talk about this before, but the female in a closet of the bathroom. So something's just very odd about this. Uh, I think probably the dog may have died because of maybe it starved or something, but and because those two were um, dead maybe since the 17th. I'm not sure, but that makes me feel like that could be possibly the situation with that. Anyways, give this guy a check out. Like we talked before, he is a good source of information. Um, and we'll continue to cover his work, provided he allows us to share it like he has been. He seems pretty on par with this, and I double checked to see if anything else broke today before we got into the conversation. And like I said, besides the report with the police department, there hasn't been anything further that was actually released. So that's this. But now I want to do something a little bit different. Yeah, I want to show you something. Check this out. Here we go. Yeah. So this is my friend Grace's place. It's the Buffalo Iron Works, and here's some photos from our amazing show with the Sasquatch. If you're not familiar with who the Sasquatch is, you gotta Google him. Here are some of the folks that we were hanging out with, and how the crowd was. It was just such an awesome atmosphere. Bob Bozak, man, Bob Bozak. You get Bob Bozak out, that's the thing. Jason John Beebe was there. Me pimping my uh, my get up there, but the show was just so amazing, and yeah, what a great time this was. And Jill was with us, and then there's my wife with the one and only Jordan Leamer. Jordan was there. He was solo. He couldn't. He didn't. No one. He thought everybody didn't like this, and was he wrong, man? This thing is like caught on like you wouldn't believe. Oh, of course, there's me. It was good to get out because I don't get out very often, and I don't get out very often because um, I don't like being in big crowds. So yeah, that's really that's really all I got from that. I wanted to share something fun with you, something that I did that was away from this computer. So that is one of the things that I did, man. It was pretty cool. Um, it was very cool, to be honest with you. I haven't had such a good time like that at an event um, in a long time, long time. And I don't know if I mean that's gonna be a hard duplication. Okay, although obviously not a big mainstream concert. Like yeah, like Coldplay or something came along, a little bit different story arc there. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're talking about just going out and having a good time. But I'm out there, and it seems like sometimes when out in public, I haven't been seen in a while. Like I was stopped at the border coming across from Canada by somebody twice, two different people, um, talking about the one asked me if I was the Adam Steiger that made movies in Buffalo, and I said yeah. I didn't recognize who that was, and then, obviously she let us go on our way. And then the other one was a guy named Bill Brunel, who I know very well because he helped me when I was younger create the Gore mythology. Uh, Interesting fella. And he's like, "Oh, hey, Adam Steiger, the filmmaker. Hey, how you doing, man?" I'm like, it's good to be known for something, but it's also one of those things to, when you start just getting a little bit of recognition, it scares somebody. It does scare somebody. But I had a great time at the event. Sasquatch was pretty damn awesome. If he's coming to a town near you, you should go see him. And I would recommend that. I got one more like plus segment here today, just for our local Western New York people, as we lost kind of like one of our heroes in in the community. So stick with me. I'll finish this off real quick here with you, and we'll honor this gentleman in a way, and we'll say our parting words. Give me just a minute. We'll see you on the other side. Adam Kreutinger. Why? Why do I care about this? Who is this gentleman? He was a remarkable person. I believe he was only 34 years of age, but this is from the local news or local county paper area. It talked about how the puppeteer passed away, and he was a remarkable puppeteer. He's got videos all over Instagram and YouTube. You should check him out. Some with his kids too. And there was attributed to the talented puppeteer, which I thought was very awesome. I did get a chance to meet this gentleman several times. And I even was able to give him several awards one year when I was a host of the Buffalo 48-Hour Film Festival. So that is what we're gonna end on tonight. But I want to just kind of read a remembrance of his life, because as we reflect on Adam's life, it is essential to remember the joy he brought to countless individuals throughout his performances and teachings. His creativity, passion, generosity shaped the puppeteer landscape. His legacy was endured in the hearts of those who loved and admired him. In conclusion, Adam passing is a profound loss for the puppeteer community and just Buffalo in general, by the way, folks. But his spirits will live on through his countless puppeteers he's inspired. His commitment to the craft, his innovative spirit, and his ability to connect with others have left an indelible mark on the world of puppeteering. As we collaborate. His life. I'm getting a little choked up, so I apologize. As we celebrate his life and contributions, we are reminded of his power, of the art he brought to people, and the creating of lasting connections. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a little, I didn't know him very well, but a lot of my close friends knew him very well. And I can see how I can see the pain in their eyes. And some of them I got to spend the time with last night, which is another reason why the event that we went to, the Sasquatch, was so important, so visceral, so fun. So, like I said, I want to kind of end this on a high note and just show you just a very, very short but not best clip of me honoring Adam with an award. So take a look. This is a little bit further back from the Buffalo 48-Hour Film Festival. I hope you enjoyed, and check it out.
And the winner is for Best Editing, Puppet